Creating a movie in Google Earth Pro is a two-part process. The first part involves creating a tour. And to create a tour, you need to be online. Once the tour has been saved, the second part involves taking that tour and producing a movie from those saved locations. And that part also needs to be online. However, once you produce the movie is an independent file that can be used if you don't have internet access. Okay, let's start by creating a tour. I am already here looking at New York City, and I like this image. So what I'll do is I'm going to save this. Now we need to first create a folder in which our places will be saved. So we're going to go to temporary places here, right-click the mouse, go to add folder, and we're going to call this folder New York City to Grand Canyon. And say OK. This is going to be my starting image, so I need to place a push pin here. I go up to this Add Place Mark icon, click on it, and we'll say New York City from 40,000 feet. And that will be the starting point of our movie. Next, let's get a close-up view of New York. So I am going to use this navigation tool here and just zoom in to lower New York City. Look at that. Perfect. But notice that the image is flat. Although it's acceptable, it can look much, much better. That's because people develop three-dimensional objects of the buildings, structures, and even terrain. So we're going to go to layers right now and turn on 3D buildings and turn on the terrain and watch what happens here. Incredible. We populate New York with buildings and terrain. Let's get a little bit closer. Let's move this down here, get a more interesting shot. Oh, that looks great. Okay, that will be our close-up of New York. So we will place another place mark here, and we will call this close-up CU of NYC and say OK. And look, it jumped to a different folder, but we're going to put that back in the folder in which it belongs. And notice that we've got the first view, New York City at 40,000 feet. Then we have our second, which is a close-up of New York City. Now let's go to the Grand Canyon, and we'll put Grand Canyon in here. And we will let our engine do all the traveling for us. Give it a moment for it to fill in. And let's actually pull back a little bit. Oh, there it is. Spectacular. Again, we'll get rid of the name and the marker by clicking that X. And let's tilt back the landscape so we get more of the three-dimensional feel. Look at that. That is the northern rim of the canyon. We'll zoom closer into the Colorado River. And that looks like Phantom Ranch down there. A great place to visit if you have not done that yet. Okay, this will be our final stop. And we'll place a push pin there. And we will call it Grand Canyon. Save it. Okay, and it nested in the correct folder. Perfect. Now that we have the three places that we'll like to visit, let's create a movie. So we go up here, let's create a tour. So we go up here, click Record a Tour. Notice this new window opens here with a record button, a microphone, so we can add audio if we'd like. And we'll go back to our first shot here, New York City at 40,000 feet. and we will start recording our tour. So here we go. Okay, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and then we're going to move on to the next image, which is that close-up of New York City with the buildings and the terrain in place. There we go. And then let's go west to the Grand Canyon. And there we are. And let's stop our tour. And we need to save it. And we'll go to the save icon right here. Click on the save icon. And we will call that New York City to Grand Canyon. And say OK. And notice it appears right here. Look at the tour icon, New York City to Grand Canyon, and that is our recorded tour. So we're going to shut this. The next part is making a movie. To make a movie, what you need to do is to go up to these tools and go to MovieMaker. And we have here a new window that opens, giving us various options about the movie. Gives us resolution, tells us what we want to make a movie of. And look, we'll pick a saved tour, and the default is the last tour that you created. So it's going to use New York City to Grand Canyon as the tour on which to build and compile a movie. I like to use 30 frames per second for a very smooth effect, and 800 by 600 gives pretty nice results as far as resolution goes. And I am going to save that in my desktop. And I am all ready to create my movie. So I will let the program compile the frames of the movie based upon the tour that I've just created. So I click on Create Movie, and another window opens, and this window shows you the progress in the recording of the movie. Now remember, since each frame needs to be compiled separately, this might take a little bit of time. So this is when you go for a nice cup of coffee, sit back, do a little bit of reading, and when you're finished, come back, take a look, and your movie will be ready for viewing.